Dynamite! How's it going, all you guys and girls in the Illumination? Time to jump aboard the Loom train. It's me, it's JJD, JJ the Illuminator here, the sweet one. Also known by almost countless other aliases and nicknames. We won't get into that right now. Sorry, I had an itch. Almost made me mess up on my whole intro. Anyway, I was thinking about when I was a kid. I had to be about 10 or 11 years old. My grandmother lived in a house right next door to her brother. Her brother had moved into that house after he got married, right next door. Lived there for many, many years. They both lived in those houses till they died. Anyway, my uncle's house had a 4-foot fence all the way around his property. And on my grandparents' side of the property, they had hedges all around that whole side of the yard. It was always there. My grandmother liked privacy, so the hedges were very tall. They were probably more like 10 feet tall. Well, after my grandfather retired, he would putt around doing different projects and he'd get bored of different things. And then sometimes he would just get like a bug in his ear and he would just decide to do something without telling anybody. You know, it just was spur of the moment type stuff and usually the wrong type of decision. But he would just do it because he needed something to do. Well, my grandmother used to be up until like 4 in the morning and she would sleep until like noontime if she could. Well, one day, my grandfather took the hedge trimmers, the hedge clippers, and he hacked away at those hedges and he made them the same height as the 4-foot fence. When my grandmother got up, first thing she would always do was look into the backyard as she was waiting for her water to boil for the tea. She would always have tea in the morning when she got up, or in the afternoon for that matter, when she got up. She looked outside. She saw those hedges down 4 foot. You could see right into my uncle's yard. Oh, you know, I really think, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but hell hath no fury like my grandmother when my grandfather would screw up. She laid into him. Okay, I wasn't there. She laid into him, she said, like you wouldn't believe, about why would you go and do something like that? You know how much I value my privacy in this yard. I like to sit in the yard. They have all kinds of people visit from her side of the family, which was my uncle's wife. Her side of the family, they sit in the yard too. I don't want people seeing me sit in the yard. He never did that again. Let's put it this way. He never did that again. But that was my grandfather. He would go and just get something in his mind that he needed to do, and he would just do it. And my mother says he was a geek. He wasn't always that way. The older he got, the more of a geek he became. And I don't understand it. I don't know if it's just getting older, if it was just him. I don't know. But I look back at some of the stuff that he's done, and it's not like he was thinking that. Like one day he just got up, saw something, and just had to do it. After my grandmother passed away, he just would start throwing stuff away without even asking if people wanted it, stuff that belonged to my grandmother. And just real geeky stuff. People had to say, hey, wait, why is that bothering you all of a sudden? Why do you just got to throw her stuff away? What, do you need the drawer space? What, do all of a sudden you don't need plates to eat on? I mean, I understand, when it came to some people, they can't be around situations and things that remind them of their spouse that passed away. But he just was just for a lack of something better to do. It was just something to do. Let me just throw her stuff away just because he needed something to do. It wasn't that he didn't want to see it anymore or didn't want it anymore. That's the kind of person he was. Just whatever he felt like doing at that moment, right or wrong, he just was going to do and there was no stopping him. But that hedge thing, oh my goodness, my grandmother was mad. Like you wouldn't believe. It took forever for them to grow too. I mean, I don't know. Hedges do grow so much a year, but I mean, it was a couple of years before they were able to get as tall as she wanted them again. She was so mad. I don't think she ever got over it. Funny little story. Point is, if you are married and you're going to go and do something that, might change the landscape, so to speak, no pun intended, discuss it first. Goodness gracious. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day. I love you all. Stay safe. Have a good rest of the day. You be good to yourselves. This is the Illuminator, and I'll be back.
What's that smell?